I'll also like to dig a bit deeper as to why those two exist, right? So if you think about the original idea of all weather from Ray Dalio's perspective, it wasn't for the business. He never thought it was going to be a business product. He did it for his estate because he knows alpha creation is so difficult that he didn't trust anybody but himself or him running his family's alpha. That for his estate, he came up with a framework that would allow him to say, do this very simple thing and do not change. And that he would feel comfortable that if that was actually implemented, he would have, and his family would have, a balanced exposure to those risks over time. When Bridgewater clients found it interesting, they started simply applying that for them. And it could have been, there's two things that, I'm speculating a little bit here, but there's also value. If you're dealing with billions and billions of dollars, being less active and being more strategic is actually useful. It's actually, probably a bit more. It's you're having to explain less. It makes sense from a beta perspective. And they deal with a lot of AUM. So it wasn't meant to be any sort of active management. The concept, however, can translate into what you described, that pro-cyclical one, the one where we're adjusting to a certain level of volatility, where our jobs is to get paid to do stuff, right? This is what, AQR, Panagora, all the risk parity managers, we are living and we are managing, and we're managing significantly less, a lot of us, than risk parity. And so you can actually provide the risk profile that the individual client asks for, the drawdown profile, much better by being pro-cyclical over time. And you get paid a decent, you get paid to do that, and therefore we're able to implement that. So as you mentioned, this is just two broad spectrums of risk parity. Then we can get into the details as to what tweaks are added in different risk parity implementations. But broadly speaking, going back to the idea of what risk parity managers are trying to do, is to really diversify away what is diversifiable. And what bothers me, just going back to the average investor, average market, average pension plan, average foundation, is that they choose not to diversify away things that they can, right? There is more things to diversify. That a portfolio is taking massive inflation risk. Almost all portfolios we see. And that's not necessary, right?
Yeah, they're taking on
portfolios are
risk that they're
taking
not
massive
getting
growth
paid for.
risk.